Yeah, hi there. In this, we are going to cover Qwiklab related to the Google Cloud platform. So this is GSP282, which is a tour of Qwiklabs and the Google Cloud. So basically, this is an introductory Qwiklab where we are going to cover what a Qwiklab is, what is a Google Cloud platform at an introductory level. So Google provides a Google Cloud platform. Uh, Basically, it's a platform on which Google provides the cloud services, and we are going to cover this an introductory in this particular quick lab. So what does a quick lab provide? Quick lab actually provides an environment which is similar to like Google Cloud, and we can do labs in each of the lab. What we are going to cover are the certain tasks which are defined in the lab. So since this is an introductory lab, so there won't be much task, but just an introduction in terms of what the quick lab is and how does the user interface look like. So to start with, we have to go to qwiklabs.com, and I've selected the introductory quick lab, which is GSP282. It's a tour of quick labs and Google Cloud. So if you click on the start lab, it will open up. It will ask just for to click I'm not on a robot, and then it will open up. It will tell you what is the username and the password. So this is what you get once you click on the start button. Now you have to open this uh, Google console, which is like a user interface or a Google Cloud platform. So I'm doing a right click on it and opening it in incognito window. And once you reach here, what you have to do is you have to provide the username and the password. Now the username and the password is the same which you get at the time when you hit on this start button. So here is the username. So just copy here, click on it, and it will get copied. Paste the username, next button, and then that's the password. Yep, accept the conditions, confirm it. It will take a minute or two to basically create the environment for you. So this is the Google Cloud Platform environment. Okay, select your country and just agree to the terms and the conditions. Okay, so this is the Quick Lab, which is basically free. So basically, in Quick Labs, and sometimes there are credits. Usually, one credit is equal to $1, and if you buy a bulk, then you will have to pay less. Some labs are free, which you don't have to pay anything. Just simply start the lab, and you will get the details like how to open the console and connect with the username and password. So okay, so this is a free lab, as you can see here. Now I'm connected in this Google Cloud platform. This is specific to this particular lab. So what we see here is the username. If I click here, I get this user. This is the user with which I am connected, and we see this is a particular lab which is created for this particular quick lab. Now to get the details of a project, so you go to home and dashboard, you will get this project information. So this is the project GCP project ID. This is the same one that we will see here. So if you go to this project ID, which is Qwiklabs GCP 036CCBE, this is the same one which is a Google Cloud project ID. Now within each project, we have a project name, project ID, and a project number. So project name we can edit it, but not the other ones. So this gives a basic information about what the project is all about. Now, some of the basic services which are provided by Google Cloud Platform are like compute. So, and then there is a storage. On the left hand side, you see there is a databases, networking, and operations. Then there is tool, big data, artificial intelligence. So on the left hand side, you get the different menu options. We select based on whatever is asked in the quick lab, and then we perform the task. So let's go quickly to this lab. So what it says, Okay, so okay, just like it is starting saying that we have to launch the quick lab using this start button, and then credit is there, which tells how much credit will cost, the time, it specifies the time for which the lab is there. Once it hits zero, and the lab will close and the environment will be cleaned up. Score is basically whenever you finish any accomplish any task in a given lab, you get a score, and once you complete all the tasks, you get 100. Okay, so what is GCP? This builds a temporary environment in the Google Cloud. So you build it by using the start button. When the time reaches zero, your temporary Google Cloud environment will go away. Yeah, that is true. Some labs have tracking, which is scores or completion. Yeah, that is true. They keep track. In order to receive the completion certificate, you must complete the required hands-on lab activities. That is true. So once we complete all the activities, we we get a certificate saying that okay, it's been completed. Now accessing the Google Cloud, just like we did now, we clicked on this open console, we connected using username and password. So once this is done, yeah, just like what's shown here, this is what we have done. Okay, with what field is not found in the left pane, so we have project ID, password, system admin. We have project ID, as you can see here. We have open Google console, it's there. We have password also. We don't have system admin here in the left side, so that is true. The username, the left panel, which resembles like, so username is like this student dash is in cloud and IAM identity, which is true. Now, projects in the Google Cloud Console. So this is a project info. Whenever we are connected, we get a project. So basically, project is the one in which we create all our resources. So to get the project detail, we can go to Home and Dashboards, and we'll get all this project info like project name, project ID, and project number. From here, you see only project ID. Other details like project name and project number, you can get it from there. But basically it's a project ID that we use in our labs for any reference to the project. So next comes an organizing entity for anything you build with cloud with this mm, Google Cloud Project. So whatever resources we use in a lab, they are basically tied up to a Google Cloud project. Now these quick lab resources, these are basically shared resources. So there are other users who are using these quick lab, and so the resources like CPU, storage, etc. are shared. So quick lab resource is a project where you run all your lab steps. Yeah, that is true. Oh, sorry. False. That is. Now what we do is okay, so what are the different types of services offered by the Google Cloud? So we have compute, storage, networking, cloud operations, tools, big data, and artificial intelligence. All these things you can find on the left-hand side of this Google Cloud UI console. So we have compute, storage, database, and so on, whatever are listed here. So we'll cover all these things in separate labs. So this is just an introductory lab. Roles and permissions basically tell what are the roles which are granted to the users. So for this, we can go to navigation menu and click I am an admin. So I'm here in this Google Cloud Platform console. So this is the left hand side. What we see is the navigation menu. Yeah, this one. So we click on this navigation menu and click on IAM and admin. Then go to IAM, identity and access management. This tells about the identification of individual user account or service account and what access that particular account is having. So for this particular project, these are the different members or the accounts which are there, and these are the different rules which are granted. And so for in our case, as per the lab, so let's say if I want to search for our user, so our user is student 035A6631. This is what you see here, and this is the student, and in this is the name of the student. We have got the editor and the viewer role. There is another account which is, so these are the accounts which got created automatically whenever the lab gets launched. and these are the different rules which get created. Viewer is only for the viewing the permission. Editor rule is can make the changes to the resources in the project. Owner is the one which actually owns the project, and this is at the highest level in terms of the permissions and the roles. So this is what we have: viewer, editor, and owner. These are the three primitive roles. Then we have understanding questions. Let's quickly go through these. Answer the following multiple questions. Offers quick access to the platform services and also outlines its offering quick access the navigation menu. It offers the quick access to these services. So let's go to this. Primitive rules, these are set for the project level permissions, and unless otherwise specified, they control access and management to all Google Cloud services. This is true. Provide viewer permissions plus permissions for actions that modify state, such as, so this is the editor role. So basically editor role has viewing permission plus other actions that can modify state, such as changing the existing resources. So then we have API and services. So basically there are a lot of uh, services which are there, and if you want to use it, we can enable the APIs which can be done by using API and services library. So if I go to API and services and library, we get a lot of APIs which are there. If so we can easily search it. Let's say if you want to search an API for dialog flow, just type here this DIAGLOG, and it will show you the name of the API. Just click on it. It will tell whether this API is enabled or not. Currently, this API is not enabled. To enable any API, just simply click on this enable button. It will enable it. Once it gets enabled, you will see a message here saying that this API is enabled. It's like that. Let's wait for it. It's taking some time. Now we see the API is enabled. If you want to disable it, we can just click here and it will disable the API. So what else we have? Let's check this understanding. When you start a lab in Qwiklabs, you need to enable APIs in your project to start working with Google Cloud. Yes, so there are many resources available, and if you want to make the use of those, then sometimes we have to enable the APIs. Sometimes some few APIs are enabled by default, but for sometimes we have to enable it exclusively. So yes, sorry, some some are enabled by default, so it's true. Okay, Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell basically provides an environment which is basically an in-browser command prompt execution environment. So a lot of things we can do in Google Cloud Console from this interface itself using the UI. Otherwise, what we can do, uh, we can execute the equivalent command. So for this, we need to have an environment where we can execute those equivalent commands. So we have a Cloud Shell for this. So if you click here this arrow button, this will activate a Cloud Shell. So once you click it, so this is going to launch and activate. So it will say that will launch an Cloud Shell. So it will create an environment where we can execute the commands which are equivalent to doing the work in the UI. So either you can do the same step in UI, or you can find its equivalent command and you can execute it here. So once you launch this Cloud Shell, it looks like this. If you want, you can change some settings like text size to medium. Uh, this is usually screen is split between these two. If you want, you can have a separate window for this. For that, what you need to do, you click this arrow button. It will open it up in a new window. Let's click this, and it's going to open in. I'm just running this command gcloud auth config. This will tell me which with which user we are connecting. So gcloud auth list. Just click on authorize. So this says that my active account is this student. This is the same account with which our lab was created. Now to find out in which project we are working right now. So gcloud config list. project. Currently there is no project set, so we can set a project. So G cloud config set project, and then we have to give the project ID. So project ID we can find out from this. This is the project ID that we had used. So our project is set now. So G cloud config list project. So you can get the project name. So it means whatever work you will do, it will be assigned to this particular project. Now we can do our normal Unix commands, like we can create a file, ls, other things in this editor, in this Google Cloud Shell environment. I think that's it for this lab. This is just an introductory level. So in the next quick labs, we will cover the tasks like creating a virtual machine, creating a storage and other things based on that specific quick lab. So that's it for now. Thank you. And once you're done, you just have to click it on this end lab to just say that you are done with this particular lab, and then you can rate whether you are satisfied or rate it or not, and then your lab will be done. And this will automatically get cleared up in just a couple of minutes. Otherwise, you can just simply close it up, leave. That's it.